All right, so as we saw in the last kind of video, we can call elements by their name, such as hydrogen, or we can call them by symbols. In this case, hydrogen would just be a capital H. So our symbols, they are 1 to 2 letters, and then the first letter is capitalized. So for example, the symbol H is hydrogen, HE is helium, right? The first letter is capitalized. If there is a second letter, it is not capitalized. Most of them make sense. Right? Hydrogen, it makes sense that H is for hydrogen. Helium, it makes sense that HE is for helium. Some of them don't make as much sense. The reason that they don't make as much sense is that they come from other languages, usually Latin. So we have, different words in Latin. And so sometimes the symbol and the word doesn't match. So let's check it out. First we've got hydrogen, H makes sense. Helium, He makes sense. Lithium, Li makes sense. Beryllium, Be makes sense. Boron, B makes sense. Carbon, C makes sense. N for nitrogen makes sense. O for oxygen makes sense. F for fluorine makes sense. Ne for neon makes sense. And then finally, we get to sodium, Na, right? Doesn't really make sense. It's because it comes from a Latin word. So overall, most of them make sense. I don't require that you memorize the periodic table or anything like that, or really the symbols. I do want you to know some weird ones. So know these, we'll say weird ones. And the reason that I want you to know them is because they're pretty common in chemistry and just life in general. So it's good to know. So know that Na is sodium, right? Most of us knows that table salt is sodium chloride, NaCl. Know that K is potassium. Know that Au is gold. Know that Ag is silver. Know that Sn is tin. Know that Pb is lead, right? Environmental effects there. Know that Fe is iron, right? Very common element, very useful element. Know that Cu is copper. So Cu is copper, Co is cobalt. So just make sure you don't mix those two up. And then finally know that Hg is mercury. But overall, you want to familiarize yourself with the periodic table. And as we go throughout this course, we'll see just how extremely useful the periodic table is.